Hello and welcome to another episode of the Bazaar Over Explained. I am the Bazaar Whisperer, and today we are playing Pygmalion. In this season, with all the hotfixes and patch updates that have come out, Mak is still at the top of the ladder and poses probably a pretty big problem for Pygmalion, generally speaking, but Pygmalion's still the character that I'm having the most fun with. So let's fire up this run here and we have these three classic options, but what's more fun than getting an enchanted item? Okay, so we have a radiant Uwashawali bird, we have an icy slingshot, and we have these toxic piggles. The toxic piggles are going to create piggles that have the toxic property, so they will be poisoning our enemies, which is pretty nice. That being said, freezing a small item for 1 second, especially in the early game, is pretty strong. The Radiant Uwashawali bird I'm not so high on, but I think the other thing for this icy slingshot that's a little bit going against it is that it has a maximum amount of ammo and you're not really trying to stack up that many toys on Pygmalion. So I am going to go for the toxic piggles here, and I think this item alone could help us get through like the first 3 days worth of fights. And okay, we could get a medium item, get some gold, but locking in income so important on Pygmalion, so let's just take that. And I don't know that we have enough health to beat the Viper, but I will go to the Fang Dinglet here, and getting a regular Fang from them I think could be pretty big and important. Also, notably, we didn't even account for the 5 damage that the Fangs are going to do themselves, so yeah, I don't think we were going to defeat the Viper without having anything on board. All this said, I would also like to note that if this is your second time viewing this channel, if you enjoyed the first one, coming back for a second taste here, if you hit the like button, think about that. Would that be cool? Would that be something that you like? Well, if you like this, I think you would like the like button, but it's for the third time viewers that I would say, if you're enjoying this content and you've seen 3 of these videos before, well, hitting that subscribe button seems like a pretty good place to be for me. But hey, that's just my preference. Anyway, let's see if we get a Fang here. And we get Deadly Eye. Okay. Not exactly helping us for the moment. We can see here that we got a toxic blue Piggles. I was kind of hoping for a red or yellow Piggles that would either buff our shields or our damage, but we can make this work. And we are going to need to build out our board a little bit, so let's go to JJ and see if we can find some good items. Okay. Tusk Helm is an okay item. Boomerang is not really something I want on board for a fight, but it is kind of nice to take early. That being said, with a toxic Piggle start, we would like to have small items to charge them to go off as soon as possible. I don't really love any of these items here. I think I'm going to at least take the Tusk Helm just so I have something to put onto my board in case we don't find anything on rerolling here. And I will be rerolling just because we need to find something to put onto our board. And okay, we see hot stones here, and we see the Jabalian longbow. Jabalian longbow I will be picking up, and I will pick up the hot stones too. So this longbow, because we're Pygmalion, we are generally going to have more HP than any of the other characters in the Bazaar on day 1, so it's likely that our Jabalian's longbow is going to have a 3 times multicast. It's not guaranteed because it doesn't count the total max health, it counts the health that you're currently at. So we would have to find some regen or something to help facilitate that, but either way. And okay, so if we're going to be in a fight, I guess our board would look kind of like this. And that might be serviceable. I could go to Ayla and see if we could get a weapon. Getting something like a Regal Blade on day 1 would be a nice direction. Although here is the Tiny Furry Monster. And the Tiny Furry Monster, if we get an XP today, will allow us to guaranteed get to level 2 on the next day if we win our fight. We also have a toy which allows us to get this +1 XP from the Tiny Furry Monster. I guess the question I'm asking myself is, do I win this next fight with our board? Or do I want to try and high roll? Again, the weapon that I'd want to see is a Regal Blade, just because that would give us a pretty strong direction to go to. But I will take the safe play, and I will gain the 1 XP here. It's not going to help us on day 1, but it could help us overall. And okay, we are facing Mak. Maks on day 1 can be pretty strong, but let's see what they got. They have Candles, Bottled Lightning, and they also have this Lash Out skill. So, looking at their board, I think the Longbow, it's not going to have the multicast that we need, but they aren't going to be using the Bottled Lightning again. So, looking at this, I think we're in a pretty good position to win this fight. Yeah, now that their Bottled Lightning has gone off once, we are kind of in the clear. This Candles is just not going off enough to facilitate the damage they need to defeat us. So I'll take that. Hey, a little crit on the way out. Longbow showing us who's on top. Alright. So, pretty happy to win day 1 here, and we can see what bronze tier skills we get. Okay, frontal shielding, notably the Tusked Helm. Its damage clause and its shield clause are separate, so it's not saying deal damage equal to the amount of shields or shield equal to the amount of damage that you have on this. So it's just 2 separate clauses. Adding 20 shield on this looks like adding 40 shield to our fight, which is not bad. I don't really want to spend any money, I don't think, to facilitate maybe getting like left-handed or right-handed, which would be plus damage on our longbow, because I kind of want to use our gold to try and find better items. So I will just take the frontal shielding. I think that's good enough of a bronze tier skill for us. And okay, so an interesting thing here too is with Mandala, we can actually transform this blue Piggles into a different poison item. It will be a bronze tier small item, but I'm willing to do that. I think Kina also could have a Gonjo for us, and Gonjo could be pretty big. Yeah, let's go to Mandala and let's try this out. Alright, that's pretty nice. Get Toxic Hot Stones. Also, notably, it poisons equal to this item's burn, so if we can get a burn increase, that'd be a pretty big game for us. And now that we have that, kind of like putting this in here and getting our hot stones to go off a little further. And okay, we could go to Midsworth, who certainly has items. We would not really want to reroll right now, so I'd want to be happy with the 3 items that Midsworth presents to us. That being said, they could sell us large items and small items. Most of the small items would be okay, and the large items that Midsworth could sell at bronze tier on day 2 are probably like a fixer-upper or something of that nature. So I don't know that I want a fixer-upper right now. I don't have anything to facilitate it, although it's pretty good on Pygmalion to just have a fixer-upper. But Mountain Pass has a lot of value for us, so we'll be going there. I think there is an argument to be made for gaining the 1 XP, going for a fight, or gaining the income. Generally on Pig, I like securing my income early, so let's just do that and lock in a little bit more. We have a lot of days to go. And I feel like we could defeat the Rogue Scrapper. Our longbow's not going to be going off a lot, but we are going to be gaining some good regen, and I think with our shielding we're going to be okay too. So, also, the Rogue Scrapper has a maximum of 510 health. Just because of this Gear Nola, they're going to gain that shielding. I feel pretty confident that we could do some good things here. Burning for 3 on these different hot stones is not great, but honestly, poisoning 3 on this toxic hot stones is pretty good for day 2. So I think we'll be able to get through this one okay. We're also regenning and shielding through most of the damage that they do. And yeah, I think we're in a good spot. Looking at the items that they have that we would want, the Rust skill has been impressing me more and more lately. I think just having a start of the fight trigger essentially allows you to pair it up with things that like freeze when you slow at the beginning of fights and stuff like that, which is pretty good. We get the Junkyard Repair Bot, and honestly, pretty good one to have. If we can find an item to put on board with that, that'd be pretty nice. Okay, here's Quixel. Quixel has potential for a Gonjo or something like that too. And here's some nice ones. There's an ATM, definitely take that. Matchbox I like as well. I'm not sure if we put the matchbox on board. Wow, we're just getting all these blue Piggles. Do I want to reroll here is what I'm thinking about. I think I do. Okay. Well, here's weights. Weights is okay. We just don't really have anything to synergize with it. Unfortunately. Briefcase, yeah. Okay, let's keep going. And now there's Lickit or Herma. Herma could have something for us to put this plus 15 heal on, which would be nice. And filling our board with non-weapon items to proc our matchbox more could be good too. Yeah, I think I'm in for that. Let's go to Herma. Okay, there's a Vineyard. We kind of have to go all out for it if we wanted to buy it. Vineyard has been buffed, which is really nice. So now it says your heal items have plus heal equal to this item's value. We don't have any heal items currently, but I think it in itself also just gaining value as we go along could be nice. Plus 200 heal and a 6-second cooldown on day 2 is also pretty big. So I'm inclined to take it, but how would I buy it? I would have to sell probably my repair bot, which is not ideal, and then sell maybe my ATM or my longbow. Longbow is very strong, and I guess if we bought it, it would be on board. We'd probably be keeping that and like a toxic Piggles on board. Yeah, then ATM, Jabalion longbow, Tusk Helm. So that's 5 items. That wouldn't get us to 12. Okay, I'm gonna miss out on some of the value here. I'm gonna sell our repair bot, and I'm gonna sell the longbow too, and I'm gonna take the Vineyard. Okay. Alright, we have some good options here. Getting 5 bronze tier spare change is honestly pretty good. There's a lot of different synergies that we can find in terms of selling them early and things like that, so I'm pretty inclined to take that. And let's see, what would we like to put a little crit chance on? I guess putting on the matchbox makes sense. I like this board setup as well, just because I want to gain the regeneration off these hot stones as much as possible. So I think I'll keep things as is. We're not buffing anything with our Vineyard just yet, but I'm not too worried about that. I think, again, just 206 healing right now makes some good sense for us. We are losing out on our frontal shielding, so do we want to put ATM in? I think this looks a little bit better to me. I guess there's an argument for doing something like this. This could just represent a lot more. It represents less fire damage, but it represents better defense. Yeah, I think I'm willing to do that. Okay. Yeah, 20 shields day 2 I think is maybe just a little bit better than trying to facilitate like 1 poison and a 1 second off of our toxic hot stones. Let's see what they got. Okay, they have a obsidian green wasp, which is pretty scary. Honestly, it's the rocket launcher and ignition core that are the scariest here. So we're gonna need to be a little more offensive than we are defensive in this fight, just because they're gonna be stacking up a lot of burn here. The ignition core is giving the rocket launcher plus 3 burn essentially, which is pretty good for them. And we're not really burning through them nearly fast enough. I don't think we're gonna get there on this fight, unfortunately. Poison that they're adding to, and honestly, these blast doors are just doing great things for them. They shielded a ton of the damage that we were doing to them, so it is what it is. Let's see what we have for day 3. Okay. B1, B2 seems pretty appealing. Could put it on our toxic Piggles, and then they'll start giving us silver tier Piggles. I do like that a lot. Let's do that. So the reason I also like this a lot is because of Mandala, and as we saw, Mandala can transform our Piggles into these different items, and getting a silver tier small item with toxic I think could be pretty good. Okay, so now I could get some chocolates or go to Kina. I think I want to get some chocolates here. My reasoning is every 5 item or every 10 items we sell, we give more value to our vineyard, and thus stacking this could be a very big source of healing for us as we get into these days. Okay. So a little more value on our vineyard feels good. And here I'm thinking about if we can defeat the eccentric etherite. We would definitely need to have this on board. We're not putting on a ton of burn. And I guess we probably want to put a Piggles on board so that our matchbox can go off even faster. And matchbox, yeah, I think this makes a little more sense to me, or even something like that. Yeah, I think I can go with that. Charging our matchbox 2 feels pretty good. Yeah, I'm not so certain about this, but I do want to see if we can defeat them. Gaining something from their item pool can be pretty good too. I'm pretty sure that our build gets pretty negated by Street Gamer, unfortunately, just because they're healing so much. And the Tempest Flame Dancer does have things that would synergize well with our burn. We could look at that real quick. So, Tempest Flame Dancer. They have the burn skill, could get a fiery cutlass. Yeah. If we win this fight, we would also be leveled up guaranteed. Well, let's try the etherite. I would really like the rigged skill. Just, there's very few ways to gain haste at the start of your fight immediately, now that they've patched a lot of that out, so I think that could be pretty valuable for us. And we are starting to stack a little burn, but their force field is pretty big regardless. I think really this vineyard healing over the force field is going to be what we need to see, and our poisoning is actually doing a good amount of damage too. Okay, yeah, it looks like we'll be just fine in this fight. Again, healing this much and also poisoning and burning has put us in a good position. Let's see what we get. Okay, I've got goggles. 30 shielding is not bad. And I could gain some regeneration or look at a medium item. We will be leveling up, so we will need to put something on our board. And man, just keep getting blue Piggles. Again, I would love to see a different variant of these, but that's okay. 3 regeneration is good, but I want to see if we can find some more powerful items. Here's the Kiuas. Pitchfork would do good things with our vineyard, so I will take that. Cash register also synergizes well with our vineyard. I'll sell this ATM, I think, but I don't need to do it just yet. Let me buy this cash register. And we need an item for the board, so I'll re-roll. Okay, booby trap is fine. Weights are okay, but not really what we want. I think we want some heal items to synergize with our vineyard. So let's move on from here. I'm going to upgrade a bronze tier item now. I don't know that we need to do that. Matchbox, I think, just gets more burn if I remember correctly. Yeah, just 1 more burn. I don't love that. Hot Stones, I think, gains, yeah, +3 regeneration, which is pretty nice. That might be better than just going for a bronze tier skill, so let's do that. We'll also add some more poison to it, which I think is pretty nice too. And okay, now we can go to Mandala again and turn this into something. Yeah, we're kind of low on gold, so I'm willing to do that. VIP pass, cool. That could be pretty useful for us. Okay. And do I want these goggles or another Piggles? I think I want the goggles. Plus 50 shields seems okay, especially against a Vanessa. Now we're also going to need 4 space in our backpack, so let's sell the ATM. And now we will have 4 spaces, 2 from the truffles, two for the truffles, and then 2 for the spirit change we get from the cash register. Okay, do we want to change the position of anything else on our board? You know, against the Vanessa, I also kind of like doing this, because having the ability to put up some more defense against a potential Vanessa build that's weapons based makes sense to me. Yeah, let's do that. And we're hoping that they're not like a poison build. Looks like they are a weapons build. Being said, they may just burst us either way. Now Langshan is definitely not small. It's, I think, maybe the maximum amount it could be at this day. So we're gonna try and put up as much defense as possible here. Langshan did go off. The katana is also being buffed by the switchblade. It's gonna be close here. Oh wow, they crit on Langshan. That's pretty unfortunate, 18% chance. If they didn't crit there, I think would be okay, but that's alright. Alright, day 4. So we have these truffles here, which could increase the value of our vineyard right now, but I'm not going to do that just yet. I think vineyard in itself, we haven't really found the small items that go with it, or the healing items that go with it, for me to want to do that right now. So I'm inclined to maybe find something else that we could value stack. I think, you know, getting this and putting kind of naturally letting it grow up in value is better for us. That being said, there is an aerodrome. I don't really want to have to reroll anything. I don't want to have to put money into that, so kind of just looking at this medium item shop, and yeah, I will go there. Getting a sauna could be good. Here's another opportunity for the Kiuas. We are burning. There's also balcony, which would be pretty nice synergy there. I will sell the spare change now. Let's see. The Kiuas is bronze. So we could value stack it for 4 right now. And that, thus it would have, I guess, 6 total value. So it'll be burning for 6 every 8 seconds. That's not great. But we'll take it. Just to speculate for right now. We do need to kind of get something else going here. There's spiky shield boomerang. Yeah, I think I want to move past this. And Kiuas itself is not a property, so it won't get hasted by our VIP pass. And it also won't get any more value from it either, unfortunately. But that's okay, I can find a different synergy. And here's Quixel. Let's go to Quixel. Alright. I am inclined to take that and upgrade our Kiuas. And thus it can put that on board. I think I will start value stacking it, so let's put these truffles on it. We don't need to do that just yet, actually. Although buying and selling the aerodrome would be pretty good for that. So I can sell the Tusk Helm. Well, yeah, I'll sell this. And yeah, I'll put the other one on there too. Let's buy the Aurora Dome. And that will allow us to buff this Kiuas even further. And okay. I think once we sell this, we'll be in a good position to defeat the Flame Juggler. Healing for 200, I think alone would enable us to do that in this fight. So let's go ahead and go fight the Flame Juggler. Getting this Burst Flame skill could be nice. Really just getting the maximum HP from them is, I think, the big thing that we would like to see. That we will guarantee if we level up. Or get the maximum, defeat this fight is what I'm trying to say there. And yeah, the 200 healing is pretty significant. Allows us to pretty handily defeat the Flame Juggler. Let's see, we're starting to we're developing like 46 burn at the 20-second mark. So that's not a low amount, but it's certainly not a ton. Let's see if we can maybe get a fire skill here. Okay, defense grid is a very good one though. Yeah, it says the first time you use an item each fight, shield equal to 20% of your max health. It's not a ton right now, but this just scales very well throughout the entirety of the game, and it could give us the survivability we need to get to finish our fights. Okay, here's a toxic yellow Piggles. Good to see. And another mountain pass. We could certainly pivot into more of a weapon build. The builds that I'm really liking on Pig in the current meta are based around freezing, and thus Ayla doesn't really have what I want. I think what we would ideally like to do is go freeze build so that we could face the late game dualies that are using the blue beetle as a high source of freezing, and also it'll help us with a lot of the Vanessas. Less good against other pigs, but I think it's still very strong. So to facilitate getting there, I don't think we want to go weapons. I think we want to go to the mountain pass, and we want to get as much money as we can. Let's just lock in that income. And here's even more income. Or we could get a non-weapon item. Let's see, we're gonna need to sell some things in our backpack either way, so we need to make space for these items. I think gaining income to here just makes the most sense, and then that'll kind of allow us to be in the territory where we can actually buy and sell properties for the Kiuas. Yeah, that seems decent. Okay, so let's make some space. I'll sell this off. Do I sell the VIP pass? Again, I've said this a couple times, but I really don't enjoy selling the Piggles for no value. I know it does level this up though, so I guess it's not nothing, but having 1 gold versus 0 gold is 100 times better, even though anything times 0 is 0, but hey, as I've said, I'm no mathematician. I'll sell these toxic Piggles. Makes our vineyard a little bit bigger. Do we want to put the VIP pass in? I don't think so. If we put the VIP pass in, that does passively scale our vineyard. But that's, I think, again, the direction we're not going to want to be going. And also, I could sell off this last yellow Piggles here. So I would be, if we win the fight, I would be gaining all 5 of the things that I'd be getting from, I would get a toxic Piggles, 2 from money from cash register, and then 2 truffles from our pitchfork. I'm not sure in which priority it checks them, and I really want to ensure that I get my truffles. And I don't honestly think that I'm going to be winning this fight, but I am willing to take a little bit of a risk and sell off this VIP pass over here to do so, although it would scale. Yeah. Also, is this, you know, I could do something like this. I think I actually like that. Let's do that. So I have sold enough items to ensure that if we win the fight, we will get all of our rewards. And gaining 8 shield versus putting on 3 burn and 1 regeneration, I think that this will make sense. Also putting 1 poison on is not nothing. So yeah, let's fight this Vanessa. They've done a little bit of losing, so we can hope that they're a little bit weaker of a Vanessa. And again, a weapons build is what we'd want to see. It looks like they are a 1 weapon build. Okay, they have a katana, and they are scaling the damage on it in 2 different ways. It also has lifesteal. I'm not sure. I have a feeling it's going to do more damage than we can handle. But we are putting on a sort of significant amount of burn and poisoning here. Also, it critting is very scary. We'll see. We do have a lot more health in this Vanessa, but that could change very quickly. Yeah, really need that not to crit. It's unfortunate, yeah. The katana, just also with the seaweed, was a bit too much for us to handle. But that's okay. Okay, so we don't win the fight, so we don't get the other Piggles, but we still get all of our nice loot items here. And here we could get chocolate bars, but I think we need to, again, just add some more power to our board. Goldie also could definitely do that, getting some gold tier items. And here's a pretty nice one, cold room. As I talked about, gaining freezes, or using freeze items is definitely something I want to be doing. And unfortunately it doesn't work with our vineyard as we would want it to, but there's also a hammock here, and healing for 100 every 3 seconds, so your heal items have plus heal equal to this item's value. This is 19, so this would be 119 healing. It's not bad. It's not bad. I'll be definitely taking this cold room, so I'm taking still the spare change. I'm gonna get the cold room. I could even reroll here. I have some money to work with. And what would we want to see? Well, I guess we'd want to see a freezing item. And if it's a freezing large item, it's going to cost 24. If it's a medium item, it's going to cost 16. We'd be using 6 gold, so we go down to 6. And then we could sell off like this VIP pass and go up to 13. So it'd be 3 away, but we could sell one of these things on our board. I don't think I'm too interested in the hammock, even though it synergizes well with their vineyard. I'm going to reroll, though. Okay, there's an ice cream truck. Now this would make me think if we could find a steam ladle, we would have a pretty serious build. And I'm willing to pivot off of this vineyard. And that would also help empower our Kiuas, so let's sell that. Let's take the ice cream truck. And again, I will put this on board, probably like so, something like that. We'll see exactly how this will look in a bit, but I feel pretty good about those pickups. Do we want the keychain? Nah, I don't think so. Okay. And there's mandala tools. Let me look at the tool pool here for Pygmalion. On Bazaar, if you haven't used this feature before, you can go to the filters, go to Pygmalion, and then go to tools, select that, and this will show you all the tools. So, get another Kiuas, and okay, the steam ladle is a tool. It's pretty big if we can get that. We could transform another Piggle, but I think getting the steam ladle will be pretty big game, so let's go and see if we can find that. Hey, there's the steam ladle. Perfect. Okay, what are we selling for that? I could also put these truffles on something else to just gain some money. And I would also like the pitchfork upgrade. So that'd be 12 money total that we're generating, or that we need to make up. So let's say this would be 9, and then this would be 11, 13, 14. So I don't have to do all of that. So yeah, I am willing to sell this VIP pass. What am I replacing steam ladle with on our board? I like the toxic piggles. Maybe it's just the matchbox. Okay, so let's start selling this. And I think we are selling this VIP pass again to get the money we need. Let's put the truffles on it, sell it. We have 12, so get the ladle, can get the pitchfork. Nice. All right. Okay, well, we'll be able to see this build in action a little bit better. And now that we have this steam ladle, I feel more confident we're going to be doing fire damage, so I'm willing to sell this truffles on this Kiuas. And let's fight Trash Town Mayor. Trash Town Mayor. These skills could be nice for us. I think mostly, again, just want to fight the biggest monster. We can see that this steam ladle's already doing pretty big things for us. Getting a gold tier cold room as well is super nice. Just being able to freeze 2 items for 1 second and getting 6 regen, that's pretty huge. Yeah, I'd say our build just got a lot more powerful. Okay. Get sharpening stone, cool. And capital gains, yeah, let's keep getting on that income. We have a lot of fights to make up for from here, so gaining income seems good. You know, Ayla could have the ice club for us, but on day 5 it's a lot less likely. So I think what I'm gonna do, I could get another small tool and that may be a steam ladle upgrade. Or I could just gain some income, go to the docks and get a tool too. Yeah. Now I'll go to the docks. I'll hit the tool button. And it was a calcinator. Wow, okay. I don't think we're going to be using it, but I do love to see it. And there's spare change. So I don't think I'm using the calcinator. And again, we need 4 to 5 spaces here. Am I willing to sell this matchbox? I think, although it would facilitate the ice truck going off more, I do think that the steam ladle is better. I guess I'm not sure that these hot stones are better. Gaining regen is pretty good. So I could do this, and then that'll just charge our ice cream truck more, which will charge our steam ladle more. Okay, I'm in for that. So I'll sell off these hot stones. And now we have enough for this spare change. Looking at heal and regen items, there are some regen items that'd be pretty nice for us. Thinking about the private hot springs, we would have enough money to buy a silver version of it. And we could fit it on our board in place of the Kiuas right now. I kind of like just getting the money though. Yeah, I'll just take the money here. Okay. We're facing Mak. Get $3. And I will sell the yellow Piggles. Do I think I'm beating the Mak? Let's just say we are. Let's sell this. And let's fight this Mak. I think it looks like they're undefeated, but our build did just get a lot better. So let's see, they do have a lot of lifesteal though. Runic Great Axe, Runic Double Bow. Yikes, that's a pretty good synergy. And they are buffing the damage here. So this is going to do 300 damage, I believe. Yeah, okay. We're gonna have to crank that burn up. But no, they just burst is pretty good. Okay. Well, we're still on the right track. I think burst damage is gonna get us in these days, as our defenses are not super fast. So it is what it is. And okay, I do want to start looking for, again, an ice club. And I am going to just clear the search. And ice club. So it starts at gold, so it's pretty unlikely that we're going to see it here. But I guess it is starting to get into the days where we could. Could also gain some XP. Well, let's try and high roll here. Okay, don't really want these. And don't really want those. Okay, that's okay. Now we could get a property. And sell some spare change. A property again could be pretty nice for us. Getting a non-weapon item. Could have some buffs to our board. It could be good. We are willing to replace this matchbox and Piggles. And could get an upgrade to like the Kiuas. Just a free property could be nice too. Let's take that. Okay, vending machine, not bad. We are pretty slim up on space in our backpack though, so I have a feeling we're gonna have to sell one of these here pretty soon. We'll stack the Kiuas a little bit further. And Enclave Weeper, let's fight them. getting the experience, I think here would be best. I don't really want much else of what they got, but I think if we can start gaining level advantages on our opponents, that could be our route to victory here to try and make up some ground. The unfortunate part of if we do complete our build with getting the Ice Club is that we're probably going to get it pretty late and we have to win, 9 more days just to get our 10 win. And that's what I'm always planning for, is the 10 win victory. So set ourselves up for that success. Okay, there's one hero that can go late game. It's definitely Pygmalion. Right, that's pretty good. Can upgrade a silver or lower tier item. I'm definitely going to upgrade this steam ladle. Being able to stack on +6 burn instead of 4 burn every time we freeze is pretty nice. And here's Mandala. Could transform our Ouroboros statue. I kind of like just going to Volpack and seeing if we can make our board better. Could turn this into a medium gold item. But we're looking for very specific items right now, so let's go to Volpack. I don't really want these, I don't think. And okay, upgraded cash register. It's definitely something. Snow globe. We have 1 property. Yeah, that's probably better than this. So we'd rather have vending machine. Vending machine does give us a truffle, so I think I actually want to sell off my cash register at this point. And I am going to be selling off these Piggles, that matchbox. I'm going to be buying the snow globe. Ice cream truck looks like it'd be a property because it's so big, but it is not. But yeah, so our main source of damage here is definitely still our steam ladle. And I will be selling off this cash register, but I don't have to do that right now. Do I want bootstraps? I do, but it's going to be taking up so much space in our backpack that I don't think I want to do that. Okay, what else do we have here? Alright, so we could gain some more XP. Could also find something like a stopwatch. That icy stopwatch. That'd be decent. Let's also just, why not take a look at all the freeze items that Pygmalion has. Ice luge, I'm not really a big fan of. Yes, just be stopwatch. Private hot springs would be great too. And any freeze reference items, just a steam ladle. It's probably unlikely that we find another steam ladle, so let's go to the Bazaar Con. And yeah, let's get 2 XP here. This will allow us to at some point be a good amount of levels above our opponents. So I'll do that. And again, we're going to need to be making 5 spaces. So can sell this cash register. We'll sell one of these. Then we have 5 spaces. Okay. Let us fight this Dooley. Most Doolies are just the Bug Friends build right now, which I'm not sure we beat. But we will certainly try. And yeah, they are duped. They duplicated their power drill, and they're also the small friends build. So there's going to be a lot of damage. Unsure if our freezing is going to be enough defense here. We're all putting on a lot of burn. And this is getting close. Wow, okay. Well, that was definitely due to our freezing and steam ladle coming through too. I'm curious just how much the Kiuas put on. 40? Yeah, we could probably replace that. But yeah, freezing these items definitely allowed us to live. Okay. Well, Paul is exactly what we're looking for. So let's go to Paul. Okay, the luxury tents. We don't have any heal items. Jabalion drum, not really what we want either. Let's reroll here. Look for the ice club. Okay, we don't get the ice club, but we do get private hot springs, which is pretty nice for us. we'd replace maybe the snow globe. Definitely take the Kiuas out. Can start selling these things. We have +5 value. Yeah, we'll sell this Kiuas. Definitely going to be picking up this private hot springs. And I wonder if it's better if we have the snow globe on board and then we look for like a booby trap or something like that. Golden ice cream truck is a very serious item. And I don't think that the private hot springs outright replaces the steam ladle. I think they're very good in combination with one another. So we'll keep it like that. And yeah, let's keep moving. Okay, heal, shield, gold tier skills. Let's look at some gold tier skills. When you freeze, your weapons gain 15 damage. You know, obviously good for us. But I also have +2 income for each property you have. And I have at least 2 properties. A third with this vending machine, so it's +6 gold. That's pretty significant. I do also just want to start trying to make my board as strong as possible. I mean, immolating spark is good too. Yeah, let's take immolating spark. This is, with our private hot springs going off so much, I think it makes a lot of sense to put more burn on that. And then we have JJ. Yeah, let's take a look at JJ. Don't think we want these. Hogwash, Robe, Pig's Gem, not really for us. Okay, there is a sauna. When you burn, heal 10 and gain 1 regen. And in itself is going to burn. I'm curious to see what that looks like. So I could sell off this Piggles, this Truffles here, and buy that. I don't know how good it's going to be, but it does make our snow globe bigger. And I think we can fight the Radiant Corsair. Yeah, let's see how this looks. The ice cream truck, putting that on board might be better, but I think as a test fight, the Radiant Corsair is a pretty good subject here. And again, snow globe going off 3 times is definitely pretty nice. Yeah, as we can see, that's rocking our private hot springs pretty well. I'm wondering what they targeted with Spyglass. Looks like it was the hot springs. And obviously if we get the Fire Rebirth skill, that'd be pretty good, but even getting 10 crit chance on our burn items would be pretty nice too. Certainly hoping for the Rebirth skill though. Come on, 2 lives. That's good stuff. Okay, get 10% crit chance on our burn items. I'll take it. Let's see, so could get a toy. I don't think I want any toys, although Booby Trap is a toy if I remember correctly. So let's see, toys. The problem is it's not just Pygmalion toys. But that is when you use a property charges 1 second. We would have 1, 2, 3 properties. That would be pretty nice pickup. Let's try and high roll that. Okay, not what we found here. Let's reroll. We have a lot of money to work with, so we can definitely reroll. There it is. I think this is going to be better than the sauna. Yeah, I think it's going to proc a little bit more. Yeah, let's take that. Okay. So it's not freezing nearly as much as the ice cream truck, but I'm also realizing we could do this. It's pretty nice. And I am always tempted to get spare change here, but I guess a silver tier loot item could be better for us just because it have cooldown reduction. Gunpowder, not really what we want. Okay. So I think this is the build we want to work with. I don't know that I want to sell the ice cream truck, but I do want to make some space, so I'll do this. And I've made 1 space, and I will keep the gunpowder around just for a second at least. And Herma could definitely have a private hot springs upgrade or cold room, so let's look at that. I don't really want these. Okay, there's sauna again. Not really for us. Alright. So, we need to make some space. And guess let's... it feels bad to sell off this ice cream truck, but I think it is for the best. So let's sell this off, sell our truffles, sell our ice cream truck. Make sure we don't sell our steam ladle. And now we have created 5 spaces. Alright. Do we need to move anything? This says just when you use a property, so I think everything is in order. Let's fight this Vanessa. Dog Vision. What a great name. If you're watching this, Dog Vision, I love your name. That's it. Okay, they do have a rig skill, which is pretty scary. And also Arbalist is a scary item. It could just one-shot us here. And it certainly did. It hit the 1 in 4, the 26% chance. Alright. Sometimes it happens like that. Let's enchant an item. Radiant. I think Radiant on Steam Ladle is actually pretty crazy. Actually, what would be even crazier is if we could get like a damage upgrade or regeneration on this. So let's go for a random enchant on the Steam Ladle. Nice, okay. So this will help us survive a little bit, which is definitely appreciated. And now we got all these cool things. We have so much money to work with. You know, we have kind of the build we're looking for. Now we just need to survive. So I am going to get the chocolates. And sure. Definitely get these chocolates. We just need more HP. We need survivability. Once our build starts to go off, it will do very good things. Getting one shot is unfortunate because if it got us like half health, we would have charged up our hot springs so much and been able to get back into it, but it's just because they were a one-shot build. We perished. Okay, rocket boots, magnifying glass, claws, old sword. I was looking for cooldown reduction from this curio. Guess I'll take some crit chance. Don't have any shield. Yeah, fortunate. Didn't really hit what we wanted from curio, but that's okay. And yeah, I'll put some crit chance on our steam ladle. There we go. Okay. And we're pretty strong here. Burninator bot definitely could have some good things for us. This slow skill could be fine. I guess they don't really have too much. Maybe it was just better to get cooldown reduction there. But again, if we already are kind of ahead of the curve on our experience, I think it makes some sense to try and be ahead level-wise on our opponents. And let's see what they give us. Can even try and facilitate flamethrower. Don't really have a way to do that yet, though. Alright, pylon. Not bad. Okay. Haste. Haste would certainly be good. Let's see. Can go and look at private. Private hot springs. Haste 1 item per 4 seconds. It's probably the best. I think it's going to be going off more than anything, so yeah, let's. And also, there's snow globe. The thing is, I don't know that I want to keep a snow globe around forever. It's going to haste 2 items for 1 second. 1 second, it's not a lot. Let's go here. And let's put it on the private hot springs. Okay. And now, what do we want? Mandala. I'm going to Mandala, and I'm going to try and turn this pylon into something better. an ice club specifically. Alright, it's a billboard. Billboard's nice too. And okay, a skill could be very good for us. Again, giant ice club is what we really would like. All this said, I think we go skills just so we have so much money. We could get a really nice skill. This is definitely good. First 3 times use a right mouse item each fight, charge a freeze item. That's good, but 10% cooldown reduction I think is going to be even better. Alright, we're against the Dooley. Let's see it. Again, probably the Friends build. That's what it looks like it is. DJ robot, heavy robot factor, yikes. And they do have a gold and blue beetle. Okay. Well, hopefully our freezing will be able to disrupt them. They're also going to be freezing us a lot. We are burning them a lot here, though. And, okay, we got there. Well, that was scary. Our freeze ladle, or our steam ladle, I think only connected 3 times there or something, twice even. But our freeze was enough to disrupt them, and we put on just enough burn to win that one. So, again, would have liked to have had the giant ice club, but we'll work with what we got. And you know, we didn't make room in our backpack for all these things, but that's okay. Not missing out on it too much. We have so much money to work with that it's fine. I will now looking at our fights or our options here. Curio didn't pay out last time with cooldown reduction, but I think that's going to be better than gumballs for us. So let's go to Curio. Can even have an icicle, which would be nice. Yeah, I'm going to take a couple things here. So I'm going to sell this, you know, billboard when you shield or heal, give 1 ally value. Yeah, don't want that. Let's put this back. So I'm willing to just buy the shop here realistically. There's just upgrading their board is what I want to be doing. Icicle. This frozen bludgeon's not really going to do anything. I'll take the coconut. Why not? It's just so much money. If it makes a difference, I'll take it. And that being said, again, citrus. None of these other items do anything for us, so we'll move on. Okay, there's Nufu again. And Quicksilk cannot have the item I'm looking for, so I'll sell this. So Icicle could be very strong, so I'm going to keep it around. Let's look at Nufu. When you level up, upgrade a property. Or first 6 times you use your rightmost item each fight, charge 1 freeze item. I think that's what we want. We're using our hot springs the most, so we'll see what this looks like. I'm pretty sure we can defeat the Death Knight Reaper as well. Although they do have this Desperate Cleanse skill, but I think we'll be okay. Yeah, it's a good amount of freeze. I wonder if our cold room is going off more than our hot springs. I can't imagine it is. But I'm also getting so much regeneration. Nice. I am also just looking at our XP or our HP and just thinking that it's such a low number. But okay, yeah. Our private hot springs went off 21 times. It's definitely the item we want to be using. And Mortal Coil. Okay. Nothing to use it with right now, but that's okay. And yeah, healing shield skills not doing too much for us. Let's go get some specific skills. Okay. Reducing, I think this is going to go to 20%. Let's double check that. Skills. Industrialist 15. Okay. That is good. Gaining 500, max HP is good too, but I can't imagine cooldown reduction is a wrong way to go. And again, Ayla could have the Ice Club, but our build is serviceable. Just thinking, I don't know, Ice Club could replace our booby trap and our steam ladle. And we'd be getting 150 HP here. Let's try and get the Ice Club. Obsidian at Lotto. We have no... This is an incredible item. And I believe it starts actually at 80 damage. At Lotto. Yes, this would start at 80 damage, so this 40 is misleading. We have no way to give it more damage, though. Yeah, okay. Move on. There it is. The Giant Ice Club. Okay. So I think we are going to sell off the Mortal Coil, even though that's certainly very good with the Ice Club. I'll put the Ice Club in play. I think this is going to be what's best. There's an argument for putting the Icicle into, and then I'll charge. Can even do something like this, because that would charge our turbo hot springs really quickly, and then it would also put something, it put like, I guess only 1 second on our Ice Club or something else. I think this will be more powerful. We just have to survive to be able to get it off, which is not a guarantee. Okay, let's look for some upgrades to these items. Those are not upgrades. And I will take a loop though. Yeah, gunpowder, can't see us using that now. I don't really want to sell the booby trap. I'm gonna take the loop. I guess I should have taken the loop before selling the gunpowder. Little optimization miss there. Okay, against a Mak. Maks tend to be a little slow to get up off the ground. If this was a Vanessa, I think I'd put the Icicle and Steam Ladle in, but because it's a Mak specifically, I like this build where it's at. And yeah, now I'm just thinking about the vending machine and booby trap. I really don't think, or in the pitchfork, I really don't think we're going to use the booby trap. If anything, again, I think it's going to be the Icicle that we want in. If we can find 2 Icicles as well, I'd definitely be playing that. And we'd be losing out. We normally want 5 spaces. Yeah. At this point, the thing that I want most is like the chocolate bar. But so I'm going to be losing out on some value here. I also look at this steam ladle. I'm like, should this be in play? Yeah, let's not break our brains. Let's just lose some value here. It's okay. Let's fight this Mak. Okay, what do they got? Calcinator, it's pretty big. Secret formula, they do have a vitality potion, so that's not good. They're putting on, yeah, a lot of burn, a lot of poison. They have 2 restorative, pretty hardy items here. That being said, they're freezing a good amount. They've used their vitality potion, but we put on a lot of burn. We did a lot of bonking, so I think we're in a good spot. Okay. Now what I really want is to get this giant ice club to be radiant. That would be ideal. Okay, let's some skills, sure. Let's look at Nufu. Can increase our regen. Defense grid up to 35%. That's super tempting. I think we can do better. Let's try and get some better. Alright, coolant leak. I think that is definitely better. Just diamond coolant leak. Sure. Let's see if we can get an upgrade on our ice club. Snowmobile is certainly consideration, but it's pretty weak item overall. There's a lion's cane. I do like that. So let's sell some items. We'll take this lion's cane. Okay. We actually need to sell a little bit more. Yeah, I think of the bill I want. So let's sell that. Take the lion's cane. I'm not going to be using it, but plus 200 max HP. Again, we have 6 more days to go, so I'll take everything I can get. And let's try and get some cooldown reduction. Nice. Insect wing, very good. And we definitely beat the Frost Street champion. I'll put the cooldown reduction there. Took 1.9 seconds off, pretty nice. With the Ice Club, you basically are always going to beat the Frost Street champion, just guaranteed. And also there's Nitrogen Hammer, that could be very strong. It's a lot of regen. Although their Nitrogen Hammer is pretty big. If it had gone off, it would have been killing us, but unfortunately it was frozen for 100 seconds. Sapphire. Okay. That's an interesting one. So you could do this. It certainly is not 3 items being frozen, but it is 2, and then we guarantee at the start of fight freeze 1. I think that is good. Just increasing our cold room duration as well. Okay. Now what do we want to do? Still not sure about this. I think if we can maybe upgrade the snow globe, that'd be best. We'll go to Prospero. Diamond subscraper. Very good. Not what we're doing right now, though. And Kiuas, Dragon Tooth. Dragon Tooth could be worth it, but that's okay. Okay, Andy could... Well, we can't buy a Sapphire through Andy, so... It'd be like the stopwatch, but kind of effectively have a stopwatch in these hot springs. I'm also wondering, you know, if these hot springs are still the thing we want to be doing. I think it is, just because of that first time you fall below half health clause. That's just so strong, and that'll charge our Ice Club a lot. And it also has the turbo on it. So I guess what I'm going to do is go to Pearl's Dig Site. And I'm not going to spend a ton of money here, but I am going to see if I could get just like a consumable loot item to upgrade one of our ice clubs or something like that. Wow, icy balcony. That's pretty crazy. When you use the property to the left, this frees 1 medium item or small item for 2 seconds. And this thing's going to be going off a lot. Man. Silencer is also super, super strong. But I can't imagine this icy balcony is the wrong pickup. Okay. Well, I'm going to sell the vending machine now, so I can make some space. I'm going to buy this icy balcony. I really can't see a world where this is bad. The cold room definitely is very good. And I'm wondering maybe if the icicle and the sapphire are not good enough. But every time this hot springs goes off, it's going to freeze, and that's going to charge itself for 4 seconds. So it's going to go off every 0.7 seconds every time, and it's going to get charged by the icicle. Okay, I think this is correct. Yeah, let's run it. It's also going to charge a freeze item. And if this Vanessa only has large items, maybe that's bad. But it doesn't look like that's the case. I do have this creeping chill, which, yikes, that is not good. But oh no, that's insane. Oh no, that's very good. I do want to look at their board for a second. Obsidian Nanobot, Hasted DJ Robot with a Jitte, and a Cauldron. What the hell is going on here? What are they? trying to do? I guess a lot of damage. What the? I'm gonna replay that real quick. Like, what were they doing? I guess it's all friends. I guess with our freeze build, it's hard to tell. Maybe once this DJ robot goes off, their build just goes crazy. I don't know. That was strange. Okay. No judgment to them. It's just like genuinely trying to understand what is happening. Okay, we missed out on a little value here, but we didn't know if we wanted to sell these items. But now we know we do. So I can sell the snow globe. And go to Curio. And I have enough money here to buy and sell most things. So, and buy, and buy. And sell. And do we want to, yeah, I guess we just want to make this as low cooldown as possible. Okay, we can get a snowflake here. Taurus chariot. Let's just buy these items because we can. It's with our loop. They are a little more valuable. So I can sell it off, sell it off, sell it off. Okay. Now I can upgrade an item. Let's look at our upgrades. There's obviously many good ones. So private hot springs just burns more. Okay. And giant ice club gets more damage. And let's see, sapphire. This freezes 3 items. Huh. That could be very good. I think maybe it's just balcony though. Balcony, yeah, just gonna have increased cooldown reduction, which is obviously very good for this. Yeah, I think once this hot springs goes off, we're gonna be rocking and rolling, so I want that to happen as soon as possible. Okay, here's Barkin. I'm willing to go to Barkin, maybe have an upgrade for us. No upgrades, I will reroll. And no upgrades. Notably, I think Beehive is also very good because it's very strong against the Dooley builds. Because generally they have a drill, but if they don't have a drill, then that's obviously not good. I kind of wish the Beehive maybe had like a weapon or like poison or fire item on it or something like that. But I do think that it can still be an effective way to try and fight the Doolies in the meta right now, at least in the mid game. And okay, there's the Property Baron, Lord of the Wastes. Property Baron has a skill that can give 50% crit chance to our giant club. Lord of the Wastes also has a skill that just gives 2% crit chance every time you use an item, but I think just having an innate 50% crit chance would be nice. Yeah, that's good. That's very good. Our giant ice club also just goes off like instantaneously. Jesus. Okay. It's not the one we're looking for, but it's not bad. Okay, let's just get the gumballs here. Do this. And let's put these items in our bag. Yeah. Do this, sell this off. I just want to be able to hit the get 5 button and sell them off as fast as possible. Okay, sell them again. And we know we can't get upgrades for those, so yeah, let's just keep getting more HP. And before anything, let's make sure we don't throw the game. Alright, game looks thoroughly not currently thrown. And let's fight this dueling. Let's see, are they a Mamasaur build? Okay. Well, if Mamasaur gets off, we might be in trouble, but I can't imagine that's happening. Yeah, no. We're just bonking them pretty good with the Ice Club. Okay. Alright, day 12. Got 4 more days to go. I really think our build is maybe not perfect, but it's like, I don't know what item we would want to replace on our board, so I'm kind of willing to just take all the free things here. Okay, weapon skills, diamond tier skills, or heal and regen skills. I mean, I can't not take a diamond tier skill. I think that's going to be great. Alright, could get right eye. I mean, 32% crit chance is good. And unfortunately, would have to go onto the hot springs, so I don't, because I want our rightmost item to be charging our freeze items. I'd want it on the Giant Ice Club, so I think just because of the positioning on our board, I am going to reroll here. And first 6 times use a non-weapon item each fight, charge a weapon. Yep. Yep, that's good. Okay. And we'll take the max health. That's going to give us more than the chocolate bars would. And does Arkan have anything I want over that 50% crit chance? I don't think so. Yeah, I think I just want big numbers. So let's try and get big numbers again. Come on, big numbers. I tell you what, never gets tired looking at that. Never get tired of that. Okay. Well, that's a keychain. Alright. I could fight a monster here. Could also go for like a balcony upgrade. Let's just keep getting more more XP. Arkan said, fight me. Alright, dog. Give me your skill. Maybe even your prestige. I'll take your skill for sure, though. This is great get, too. Man, build really coming together here. That's thrusters, alright. We'll go loot here for cooldown reduction. Get gunpowder, okay. I'll enchant an item. Alright, I'll enchant an item. Let's do it. Let's try and make this radiant. It is shiny. Oh my gosh. That's not a bad one either. Okay. Let's just sell our things. Be careful as we do it. Alright, Dooley. What you got? If they do freeze our hammer at the beginning or our private hot springs, that could be bad. Doesn't look like they have the ability to do that though. Nope. We just hit him with a big club. Okay. 3 more days to go. Let's see who can beat this. Alright, could get gumballs. I think I'm gonna try and go for the icy balcony upgrade. Don't see it there. And there's globe. I'll take a globe. I don't have space for that. I can make space for that. Yeah, just getting more max HP seems like a good idea for us. If someone can stop our looping, then just having the ability to survive a little bit longer seems good, and that's why I'm going to also take this XP so it can just be as high level as we can. Trash Titan. We don't need Trash Titan's skill here, and their items are not that great, so I'll just go Lord of the Wastes. I'm not sure that I would take the Foreboding Lens here. I mean, I guess we are probably going to be doing more crit chance, or our items are going to be going off more than our opponents, but it's not guaranteed, especially if they do get a freeze on us early, so I don't think I would take the skill, but we didn't have to make that decision. And okay, so let's upgrade an item, and I think I'm just going to upgrade the Ice Club here, get the fights over with a little bit faster. And Monster Loot Ranch sounds good to me. Let's go look at some loot. Cooldown reduction, yes indeed. And because of how our items are proccing, I may want to put the cooldown reduction on the hot springs, because I'm just thinking if someone has like the bonk skill, that this getting off as soon as possible is our win condition, so let's make it go off just a little bit faster. We don't need any more upgrades through Ayla. We don't need to transform anything either, so I'll just get an item. Halidai. Sure. Alright, let's make some space. Yep, that's good for me. Let us fight the Dooley. Let's see what they got. Is it another bugs build? You bet it is. Do they have a way to freeze us? They do not. They're dead. Okay. Well, the reason I wanted to go this build to begin with is because I thought it would counter all of the Dooley freeze builds, and we kind of got the ideal version of this build to begin with, so I'm not really getting to showcase exactly how it counters them, but we can see that it's chewing them up and spitting them out pretty good. Okay, and here, let's gain some temporary HP. Another chance to look at some pig skills, sure. Don't need income. First 5 times use a weapon, each fight charge a heal item. I don't believe Turbo Hot Springs counts as a heal item, unfortunately. I could just add 16 damage to it. I think we can do better. When you use a weapon, your heal items gain plus 10 heal. I'm just getting property mogul. We have so much money, we could realistically just keep buying and selling properties. And I don't want to fuss around too much with my backpack, but I guess I'll look at Andy. Reduce the cooldown of adjacent. Yeah, I don't want to take this. I think our build is just fine currently. Alright. Third time's a charm for big numbers, maybe. Let's see. Wow. Yeah, that's good. Alright. Big numbers? No. Another billboard. Sure. So all these things. Take the billboard and sell it too. And Kina could have some upgrades. These are not upgrades. Phonograph. No, I don't think the phonograph is... Well? No, because we would need the balcony to freeze them. Yeah. And we want all these items, yeah. Phonograph is a good item, but our build is in a pretty good spot without it. Let's get a bar gun again. Look for an upgrade. These are not upgrades. That is an upgrade. Sweet. And yeah, maybe it could be buying more properties just to gain 50 max HP, which I probably should be doing. Alright, let's hope this Mak cannot stifle our instantaneous freeze loop. Claw, heavy calcinator, retort. They do have a freeze skill, but they are dead. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Well, that's good. I guess we should also maybe be worried about an enemy who has the ability to destroy one of our items, but we don't have any counterplay to that, so I'm not going to worry about that. And yeah, let's lock in this value. We also don't need the globe anymore. This is our final day no matter what. Okay, the eating contest, sure. 900 max HP is a good amount. Would put us over 10,000, but again, cooldown reduction is the name of the game. That's perfect. Cooldown reduction. Restorative. I guess we put it on, I don't know, can we have a restorative icicle? Icicle. At the start of each fight, gain 6 regen. Heal 60. I mean, I don't think either of these matter. I think, if anything, yeah, sure. I mean, we'll take it. Why not? Sure, give me 6 regeneration, please. Sweet. Now we're really rocking and rolling. Okay. Boss Hero. Yeah, we'll go Boss Hero. They have like a damage skill. It will be slowing our Pipe Springs, but turns out it does not matter. Okay. Yeah, and the Hot Springs is basically on a 0.2 second cooldown, so that's nuts. And I don't need anything. Succulents. Get in the bag, brother. I'll take a skill upgrade, though. Yeah, none of this matters. Okay. Alright, the final fight. Let's see what they got. Vanessa's go off pretty quick, but we go off pretty much instantly, so we'll see what they got. I was hoping for maybe like a 1-weapon build, but we have a lot of small weapons. And we have just frozen everything on their board, and they are dead instantaneously. I think our build was alright. That was super cool. Alright. Well, we got to our 10 wins here on day 15, so definitely had to do a lot of losing until we got there. I think this also kind of showcases where a lot of my big pig builds have been recently, whereas that you're just going to be losing a lot early because of Mak, and Mak just puts on a lot of poison, a lot more burn than you can realistically contend with. And the Vanessa builds are then trying to counter the Mak builds by killing them as fast as possible, which is generally how you defeat Pygmalion as Vanessa as well, or via poison. And then for the dualies, all the dualies, every dualie I have seen is just going for the bug build. And thus, if you want to be countering the dualie builds that are going for the bug builds, you get the Ice Club. Now, I think for us, really, this Ice Balcony was just insane. This was an insane find off Pearl's dig site that allowed for a private hot springs to go off pretty much instantaneously, and then it just looped itself, which was obscene, and we got it to go off instantaneously because of that icicle. So this build, as you saw, it like really countered every build that's popular right now in the game. I mean, if we had faced like a 1-weapon Vanessa build that had like a radiant weapon that also had no items that needed to go off to facilitate that 1 weapon, we could have been in trouble. But we're just hitting them for 3,000 damage every like 0.2 seconds. So realistically, I think like every 1 second, because I think this saw the internal cooldown. I don't think we broke internal cooldown there. But yeah, that was just crazy. I mean, obviously this is like the high roll ideal build that you would want to get, but even if we just had the giant ice club, we would have been able to win a lot of those fights against the dualies regardless. So yeah, love to see that though. Just getting the super powerful Pygmalion build also feels pretty good, and gaining a little bit of these rewards feels nice. I've been climbing the ladder a little off camera here, and I've been really loving this new patch, so I'm excited to see what else we can do. But until then, I have been the Bazaar Whisperer. I thank you very much for watching this video. If you like this sort of content, you know, the like and the subscribe and all of these things, I would certainly appreciate it. But the fact that you made it all the way to the end means that you obviously are liking what I'm doing here, or you're asleep. And if you are asleep, I wish you a very good night.